the circumstance did involve MBS, who's the prime, the prince of Saudi Arabia, and he did send a text with a video to Jeff Bezos. They knew each other. They had met. They had exchanged phone numbers. And embedded in that video was a system that downloaded something that then later connects to a website and downloads something more sinister like Pegasus 2, which is a system that governments around the world use to get into your phone, and then they have full control of your phone.
And does it exist only on the physical phone itself, or is it in the operating system? And if you change phones and like upload to the cloud and then re-download on a new phone, does that spy software make it onto your phone again?
Whether it does or it doesn't, it's in your phone just like you're in your phone. Everything you can do on your phone, I can do from 7,000 miles away in some Saudi government office.
Wow.
And so these systems are extraordinarily robust, powerful, as I learned more and more about them. Pegasus 2 is a very high-end system, and when a government wants you, like the U.S. government, or when the Saudis wanted to get into a phone, they could. Basically, there are two kinds of countries in the world when it comes to cybersecurity, incursions into smartphones. There are original developers of programs that do these things. There's the United States, China, Soviet Union, and Israel. And then there are the purchasing countries, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, and all the other countries.
What if you're communicating only through direct encryption devices or applications like Signal?
Yeah. So if Signal encrypts the package going back and forth between the two devices over the internet. So if you have interception between device A and device B, it'll be encrypted. But that's not what happens with things like Pegasus 2.
Wow.
And so Signal doesn't help you with that. So the best way I can put it to you is that if a government wants you from an informational point of view, wants to get into your phone, they have you. I do think, however, they have something very valuable on Signal, and that is disappearing messages. Up to 4 weeks. We could set, in 1 week, make all this disappear. In 1 hour, make all this disappear. If you and I were exchanging Signal communications, that's very valuable. And I think Signal's a good service, because otherwise our text messages, every communication I had, for years, every text I sent, every photo, every argument, every joke that would be taken out of context, look, we're collecting all of this data. We're like a mind in the phone. And so Signal is valuable, but it doesn't solve the problem if a government wants you. It's a very hard thing to do, because the newest Pegasus systems, it is a no-click incursion, meaning they don't even need you to do anything. Now, if a government wants information, you don't have to click on anything. They can get it through programs like Pegasus 2.
Right. Well, how does Pegasus 2 get on your phone?
Well, different ways. Typically you would get a text, and you would open that text, and that would download the little executable file. Or you would watch a video, and it would be in the video. But now they can send you a message, and even if you delete it, even if you never open it, they can get in your phone. Now, having said that, there are thousands of people right now all over the world working on nothing but getting into the new iPhone operating system, and this just is an arms race that's going to go on. It's going to go on forever.
So you were saying that is executable if you get a message, but what if you don't get a message?
Unfortunately, with Pegasus 2, they can enter a telephone number. You can get nothing at all, and they can get into your phone.
Nothing at all. No text messages.
You
so you have
anything.
No idea whatsoever.
That's correct.
Is that executable if just a blank text message comes your way and you don't open it?
Less than that, unfortunately. And that's a problem, which is you don't know it happened, and you go on for months and months and months not knowing that somebody's in your phone is a problem.
And how do you find out if someone's in your phone?
And that's a problem, which is very difficult, by the way, because, well, it depends on the circumstance. With zero-day exploits on the phone itself. But Pegasus 2 is not sitting in an armchair waiting for you to arrive. Hey, I'm over here. It is extremely well hidden. And they're challenging, and they're evolving all the time, right down at the very core levels of a phone or an iPad. And I was notified originally by somebody in CIA, then notified by the FBI, and you learn about it in those ways. And then we began to do work on Pegasus 2, but there are strategies for finding it. There are whole organizations like they even have found Pegasus 2 in the wild, meaning before there was a reason to be suspicious, they've identified it. And they've had a lot of success because it's a tricky game, because you have it on your phone and you think you are being monitored. Let's say you were targeted in some way, so you get rid of your phone. You turn it off, you put it in the top drawer. Well, Pegasus will self-destruct. It'll say, hey, this activity has just stopped, self-delete. So now you don't even have any evidence that it ever happened, even if you could get an FBI involved in it.
So Pegasus sends a signal to the person that's using the spyware to tell you that that phone is not active any longer?
Well, they know that right away.
So they execute it independently?
No, it can happen internally because what happens, remember, when it's turned off or the battery's taken out or a wide variety of things can happen, with a suspect phone, it will self-destruct on its own. After a few days of no contact. That they see immediately, hey, Joe isn't texting his friends anymore after a few days of no contact. It will self-destruct on its own. That's one of the things they market. It's sold by a company called NSO, which is in Israel, based in Israel. And it's a very dark game all over the world, involving governments and other powerful people. And, if you are a person who is anywhere in the world who is subject to the interest of government, it's very hard to have privacy.
So what are the other vulnerabilities?
Turn on your phone as a microphone right now in this room.
Wow.
And even turn on your phone as a camera right now. It's so smart.
So someone can just send you a text. You don't even have to open it. Like, could you get a message through Twitter? Can you get a message
Yes, you
through
could get a regular
Instagram?
You could get a regular text.
A regular text.
Yeah. Pegasus 1, which did require that the user click on something, but Pegasus 2 is a no-click exploit.
Someone can just send you a text. You don't even have to open it.
Not even less than that. Nothing has to happen.
So they have your phone number. That's it.
Nothing more.
They have access to all your photographs, your messages, everything you send.
In the case you talked about, gigabytes of data was taken out of that phone. What I'm
Less
saying
than
is that the high-end Pegasus system, it's so smart. All they need to do is have your phone number. Let's say it makes an audio recording of a phone call. And it doesn't download it right now. It waits until the phone is quiet and it's in the target destination, like in your home, and then so that you don't even see a reduction in performance. Then it downloads it at night, right? And then people who are sort of watching the cost don't see spikes of all kinds of activity. So anyway, yeah, the short punchline on this is that there is no way, depending on who wants you, there really is no way, if the Central Intelligence Agency wants to get into somebody's phone overseas, they can do it.
Now, is there a difference between operating systems? Like, is there more of a vulnerability to Android than there is to iPhone?
I hear that there's more vulnerability to iPhone, but the challenge is it's an arms race. So if somebody says today, oh, we've got something great for such and such, 2 weeks later, adversaries have been able to work on it. And so it's sort of like saying, hey, but the challenge is that this is going to be a vulnerability in people's lives.
And it's going to expand.
Expand, sure. It's a moving target. And so the reality is these things continue to evolve. And that anything we do, online is subject to being intercepted and seen more and more.
And do you think it's going to expand to the point where...
I think it will expand to where motivated people and not governments could get access to other people's data.
Regular people have access to everyone else's phone and all their data?
And that people in power are challenged by that stuff. And so slowly, that would be the reason. You can get nothing at all. And people in power don't like it, period. There are even laws, there's some in the UK where...
Yeah, I've seen those.
Why should people be able to have a secret encrypted communication? Government is challenged by it. But what are they trying to hide? Holy shit. Think about everything that's on my phone, right? Well, because we might want to have a communication that the government isn't part of. But so slowly it will erode that way as well.